Hello, I'm Nadine Blaney. Welcome to Your Career. Ahead on the show, you've been asked to an informal coffee to chat about a potential job. But should you treat it differently to a regular interview? Nina Mapsimbone from Beaumont Consulting shares her advice on how to prepare for such a situation. Plus, people often say that you should do what you love and the money will come. Well, that's certainly the case for landscape designer Paul Bangay. He'll be joining us soon to share his career journey. But first, long gone are the days of flicking through the newspaper to find the latest job listing. Evolving technology means that not only has the platform changed, but the entire recruitment process has as well. So whether you're an employer trying to attract top talent or an employee looking to take the next leap, you should be aware of the latest trends disrupting the recruitment space. Joining me for more is Sharon Davies. She's the founding director of Talent Propeller. And from our Melbourne studio, Khor, who is the MD of recruitment firm Chorus Executive. Welcome to the program to both of you. Great having you in. Sharon in studio here with me. If you're an employer, so let's start from the employer perspective. I mean, where do you go to get good talent?
It's a bit of a minefield at the moment, and what we're seeing is a really exciting move towards or away from simply placing an ad on a job board, and a lot more bespoke advertising where you can specifically target the demographic of person that you really are looking for. So the rise of advertising on Facebook, Twitter, we're starting to use programmatic advertising now with a lot of our clients as well.
So I guess as the starting point, really defining then who it is you want, and what job you want them for. I mean, is that ground zero for starting the journey?
Yes, and the advice that I give to my clients is to really think about the skills and the aptitude that you need for the role. Because if you can understand that and you can understand what will actually fit into your culture, you're halfway there.
Okay, so Christine joining us from our studio in Melbourne. When it comes to finding the right person, again, I'll go back to that very basic question. How well defined do you have to have your ideal candidate? Because that, I guess, will guide how you therefore try to attract them.
Yeah, I agree. I guess we use a saying at our business is, you know, in a way, fish where the fish are. So if you need to be really clear about the type of individual that you want, what interests them, what's going to motivate them, why they'd be enticed to come to your organisation, great employers are looking for people that are already happily engaged and doing great work somewhere else, most likely. So how do we attract those people to come and join your organisations? And you need to go out and find them. So as Sharon said, it's communicate to them through the mediums of which they're using. So whether it's, for some it still might be the newspaper, but for some it's a forum, for others it's Twitter, Facebook, or even face-to-face.
Is it too cliche to say if you're looking for young people, you go down the social media platform? If you're looking for older people or more established executives, you go through the newspaper platform? Or is that whole scene, Christine, you know, getting all intermingled regardless?
Yeah, look, I think there's some broad generalisations that there's probably more, you know, 45-year-old plus people reading the Fin Review versus 22-year-olds reading the Fin Review. But I think overall media is across all demographics now. So, and especially for us, we're in the area of sales, marketing, communications. So marketing people and sales people are across all mediums. So, you know, to me, social media is like having a telephone. You need to be across all, and you can communicate to all people through those mediums.
And so what mediums do you use most predominantly? Are we talking the Seeks of the world, LinkedIn? Are you talking, you know, even other social medias, Facebook, Twitter? I don't know. What else is out there?
Yeah. We use all of those mediums. So we do use job boards, we do use LinkedIn, we use our own site. So when recruitment companies and even employer organisations, they have a certain position, people will come to them. So career sites on employers' boards or websites, as well as our own board, so people will come to us. And we also use PR in a way. So people are attracted to organisations that are doing interesting things. So your content strategy as well will attract talented people to your organisation. So it's not as linear as it used to be of, I need a person, I place an ad, people respond, I make an appointment, you know, I hire someone. It's a total relationship. Like talented individuals actually want to have a relationship with the organisation that they're joining, and they will be judging organisations on all the communication they send out there, not just the job ad.
So Sharon, in the studio with me here in Sydney, when we talk about you know, getting past that initial marketing phase, so to speak, for employers, are we still in the phase that we get just cover letters with a CV? How has that changed, or is that changing?
It is changing. Still very much there's a big reliance on looking at a CV to assess someone's suitability for a role, but what we are seeing a real growth in is actually looking beyond that. So taking a three-dimensional viewpoint to assessing someone's suitability. So looking at aptitude, looking at skills, looking at experience, looking at someone's social media activity. So what are they doing in their personal life to determine whether they're a right fit for a role.
Okay, and when as an employer do you look at what's going on personally in social media and know when to draw the line? I mean, everybody's allowed to have a personal life, right?
Yeah, every business is different. What it's really doing is just providing a bit of an insight into someone's character, and what one organisation might find acceptable, someone else may not find that acceptable to be part of their organisation. For example, if you are hiring for a law firm versus hiring for an advertising agency, there are differences of opinion about what would be acceptable to be doing in your private life. So I do know a lot of our clients are looking at what people are doing.
Well, then now maybe perhaps we'll turn the conversation to, you know, from a talent perspective. When you're preparing your CV, when you're preparing your cover letter, I mean, what are the sort of things that employers will be looking for? Is it just a matter of formatting it in an easy-to-read way, or again, are we using those other tools, the media tools available to us?
And it starts at a really basic level, so having, yes, a well-formatted resume that doesn't have spelling mistakes. You'd be amazed at how many CVs and covering letters we see that still have spelling mistakes.
I don't think I would be, but anyways.
But it's also then going beyond that and using all the tools that are available to you. So there, if you have an opportunity to be a little bit innovative and include a video introduction of yourself, so that it's a 1 minute, hey, here's who I am, this is why I'd be great for your business, do that. If there is the potential to include any skill tests that you may have done previously, then do that. All things to demonstrate that you are capable of doing the job.
Christine, what are you seeing as trends go as far as the most effective ways for candidates to market themselves to employers?
Look, like Sharon, I've seen a lot of the trend towards infographics and video and those sort of things. I'll be honest, I'm not as supportive of those sort of things, because I believe that there is still a lot of unconscious bias and sometimes actually conscious bias. And not everybody is really comfortable in sitting in front of a screen, especially if there's no one at the other end of the screen talking about themselves. So I'm not always convinced that a 1 minute video is the best thing to best show a candidate's skills. Look, from trying to position yourself in a great way to employers, I think the obvious things are, you know, get your basic CV right. So like Sharon said, no spelling errors, address it to the right person. Be concise as well, and be really clear about who you are, but also what have you achieved and what value have you added to an organisation. What have you done that's amazing that another employer would want to see you? And also research the organisations in which you're applying for. So employers want individuals to join them, not run away from where they currently are working. So for me, it's always important in the cover letter to highlight specifically why you're applying for this role and specifically this organisation. And I think if you've got insightful commentary around that, that's what people will find attractive, rather than a, dear sir, madam, please look at my application for this role. And without any sort of customisation at all.
Okay. Christine, I'm curious to know how all of the technology that we've been speaking of is actually impacting the business that you're working in, the recruiters, those out there looking for people, because I would imagine there's a lot of digital disruption going on there. What's your value add in your role?
Yeah, so look, technology is an amazing thing, and it has definitely quickened the process for recruiters. our database used to be everything for us, but now so many people are on LinkedIn, so instead that is a database. And that creates the opportunity where candidates or employees can speak directly to employers. I guess the role that a great recruiter plays is that conduit or mediator between the two. If candidates want to find a new job, or if people want to find a new job, it's very easy to find them because they will apply on Seek, they will respond, to your job ads, they'll do all sort of things. What great recruiters do is actually find the candidates or the employees that are already happily engaged in their roles. So the ones that aren't looking, we call those the passive candidates. And then my belief is, and it's the reality, that everybody is actually open to a new role if that role is their dream job. So great recruiters, how we value add is finding those people and matching them. I think the other trend for us is it used to be the employer held all the cards, so they would say, here's the job, here's how much I'm going to pay you, here's what time you have to turn up, and this is the bonus that I'm going to give you. That still might be the case in some organisations and some industries, but overall great candidates still now have a lot more, if I dare say the word, power. They are discerning, they are choosing where they want to work, they're choosing who they want to work for, and they are dictating a little bit more around how they will work, and organisations that need a specific skill are adjusting to that. So again, that's the other thing that a recruiter will bring, is understand what a great employee wants or a great talented person wants and needs, and match them to the right organisation, which allow them to thrive and grow and be valued and add value.
Yeah, Sharon, what do you think is the biggest recruitment challenge facing businesses at this stage of the game?
Finding good people, and I don't necessarily agree that you need a recruitment agency in order to do that for you. I think great advertising strategies will get you in front of the passive job seekers, but it goes beyond just putting an ad on a job board, as Christine was saying. But I do think that organisations can take control to find people who are happily employed and entice them into their organisation.
And at the end of the day is the old networking, the old who you know, calling people up on the phone that you see, that you like, that you hear might be out there and available. Is that, just the old-fashioned way, just as good at sometimes as the technology will enable us to do?
We don't see a lot of that, to be honest. The thing that technology does is it creates transparency in the process, and it enables people to connect. And we live in a digital world where people want instant connection and they want to know where they stand really quickly. So particularly in our business, how we use technology is around enabling clients and candidates to meet quickly and to communicate with each other and know where they're at in the process at any given time. And I think that that's really important for a company to be able to identify good people quickly.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us. Sharon Davies, Founding Director of Talent Propeller, was joining us here in Sydney, and in Melbourne, Christine Khor, MD of recruitment firm Chorus Executive. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We do have to take a short break. When we return, Paul Bengay is the landscape designer of choice for the rich and famous here in Australia, and he joins us to share his career story. That's when we return.